the generating ideas like Chat GPT and AI-powered brainstorming platforms to generate ideas, create content, and engage in problem-solving activities. We also have and that is one of our AI writing assistants. And also we have used Grammarly for our kids as well, teaching them to be responsible in using AI platforms. And also we have Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams to kind of create the group project, share feedback, and collaborate in real time. We also have the Scratch, that's a coding platform as well, to really engage our students to be more creative when it comes to sharing their ideas and their projects. So by integrating all these tools, we have created a dynamic student learning environment that encourage critical thinking, creativity, and collaboration, preparing students to thrive in a rapidly changing world. And thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for that, Jojie, and sharing that a little bit about your background. With that, we're going to transition to the next educator here, Jeri Lyn. So we'll let her introduce herself.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jeri Lyn Mourning Manzanares, and I am in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is the White Shell Water Place, Tewa, and the Beaten Water Place, Navajo. And I am the state testing coordinator at New Mexico Connections Academy. I earned my MA in educational leadership from New Mexico Highlands in Las Vegas, and I recently completed my educational specialist and my coursework for my educational doctorate in instructional leadership at North Central University. I'm currently serving as president and board member for the New Mexico Association for the Gifted, and I'm a site coordinator for the Imagination Station, which is a STEM summer camp where students participate in STEAM activities. And I help with Safe Routes to Schools, where we encourage students to bike and to walk to school and get their minds and bodies ready for learning. And I'm just really fortunate that I have the honor of working with gen ed and gifted students from our 23 Native nations in the state of New Mexico. Do you mind, Caitlin, showing the slides below that? I have a student, one more down, one of my students who gave me permission to, her family gave me permission to include her picture. And she's, as you can see, used her beautiful face as a palette here. If you wouldn't mind going down to the next slide, please. Thank you so much. I think that we can use AI to empower Indigenous classrooms and make education more localized, personalized, and indigitized by helping create more inclusive AI technologies that respect and represent cultural backgrounds of Indigenous learners. And this involves designing AI models that acknowledge relationality, interconnectedness, and holistic approaches that are central to many Indigenous worldviews. So I'll talk a little bit more about what I do in my classroom later, but I'll hand it off to Michael next. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeri. My name is Michael Bellamy. I was born and raised in Albuquerque. I have 3 sons, and I'm a 4th generation educator. So I learned about the importance of education just by watching my parents, and even the high school I was at, there was a 30% graduate rate at the time. So when I got to college, I found out what real education was supposed to be, and I understand that there was a need for it. So I was super glad to get into teaching. It's my 15th year. I love the people, you know, in the city, and I love working with the children. And this is my 4th year working at a Indigenous school specifically. I worked at Isleta, Santo Domingo, and now I'm at NACA. And I'm actually new to computer science. This is actually my second year of actually diving into it. But I think that the thing is, I've learned a lot of people who are in computer science or working with AI didn't start off in that area, and now like as I join it, I see there's a lot of people that are very enthusiastic, very engaging, and there's a lot of support in the area. So I coincidentally got accepted into the Amazon Future Engineer Teacher Ambassador Program as well. And I'm currently on my first year of a listening tour where I'm trying to find out what resources and what access needs we have as a local community in order to supply these students with more opportunities in the future. Uh, so yeah, I'm also starting a drone program and possibly esports pretty soon at NACA. And I'm I think there's a lot of excitement and like students aren't really aware of the opportunities out there at this point. So I'm looking forward to learning from you guys as well and sharing whatever I have. And with that, I'll pass it back to you, Caitlin. You want me to jump in? Yeah. So yeah. So some ways the AI can help us personalize learning experience for Indigenous students. Uh, through some of the programs I've been attending, I've seen some awesome opportunities. Depending on the lifestyle, like there are some drones being used with AI in order to like count herds to make herd counting easier for farmers or people with a lot of livestock. So that was an exciting program I seen out there. Also in Minnesota, there's a group of students that was working with their microbits and adding their like they're taking data about the weather, the temperature, in order to find out when the best time was to get maple sap to make syrup. So, students are using that along with AI to try to find out what the patterns were, to find the peak seasons. That was pretty interesting, personalized use of AI as well. So, I mean, I think there are some opportunities out there. Yeah, I think we have somebody else adding on to that as well.
Yes, there was a question just from TJ for Mike about if that was Ian Horse's project. I think it was about the microbits in the set.
So yeah, well, I think he was a part of that too. But I also worked with Ian Hermany Horses in South Dakota, where we did an awesome project. So I had to cut out a little early, but we had some students go out to South Dakota, and it was a cool virtual learning tour where you would take photos with the learning machine and teach the AI how to identify it and test it out. So we were working on a bunch of projects for that as well, like letting the students tap into to think where that might benefit them in life. Yeah, Ian's awesome. Ian's awesome.
I agree. Yeah. I know he does a lot of work with the Lakota AI Code Cat too. So, and we had some educators that we knew that went to that and it's like a really great experience. With that, we'll go to the next slide here. Thank you each for introducing yourself and your incredible backgrounds too. I think that really contribute to your practice as teachers. So yeah, if you do have any questions as we go through, we do have some pre-selected questions. We'll ask the panelists to ask here or answer as well. And then, so if you do have any specific questions, maybe it's something on the background, something that they say, or if you're just curious to know yourself, we'll have a little bit of time at the end of the panel here to introduce those questions to the panelists as well. So with that, we encourage you again to add those into the Google chat. And we'll go to the very first question here. So we'll go to the next slide. Francisco, can we go to the next slide? Sorry. Thank you. Okay, so our very first question here is, how can AI help us support Indigenous knowledge systems in the classroom? So anybody on the panel that would like to go first?
I'd be happy to go.
Yes.
I think that it's really important to make sure that we have culturally responsive AI systems, which often reflect Western knowledge and paradigms. And so when we integrate Indigenous knowledge systems, it can help create more inclusive AI technologies that will respect and represent the cultural backgrounds of our Indigenous learners. And I think, making sure that we consider data sovereignty and ensure that Indigenous communities maintain control over their data is really important. And when we think about AI, make sure that in AI development, we're doing so ethically, which is different for every community, right? With respect for sustainability, community and well-being, long-term thinking. And then also making sure that the educational content is appropriate and supports preservation of Indigenous languages, and if that's allowed, of course. And also making sure that we use strategies that help AI adapt to Indigenous principles, such as like respect for relationships, balance, and harmony. So I know that was a lot, but thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Jeri Lyn, and those insights. How about you, Michael? How do you think about this question?
So it does remind me of this cool app, Dine Bazad, that Jerome Sosi and I think Carlo Winters from Cuba. They made this Navajo dictionary that was it was one that would be able to take even a vocal prompt and give a definition in Navajo. And they were trying to add to it, even with slang words and phrases as well. But I think taking that idea or that concept and using it as a tool, you might be able to incorporate other languages that would want to be, a part of that, and using AI, maybe be able to have some direct communications, some crossover in classrooms. But yeah, I think I did get to meet Jerome. He's a really good guy, and I think one thing they pointed out is, the language isn't being taught at home always like it used to. So, just kind of using these technologies to kind of make those connections.
Thank you for that. Any last thoughts on this question?
I would like, Ms. Caitlin, I would like to answer to address the question in chat, posted in chat, if that's okay. And it's about like helping students with disabilities taking assessments. Since I'm a since I'm a special education teacher for a long time, we actually use AI in the classroom when it comes to like having our kids with disabilities take assessments. First is we are using Quizlet and Kahoot, wherein students are engaged in answering the assessment instead of like paper-based. And we are also like personalizing the questions according to their, or customizing the questions according to their level. So we use that and we found that effective in our school because kids are, they're more on visual. And aside from typing their answers, which they like, it really gives them frustration. So we are accommodating, we are having the accessible and appropriately challenging questions for the kids, like accommodating their diverse learning styles and abilities. And we also have a lot of AI softwares or applications with text to speech capabilities, which is very helpful to the kids as well. Like instead of them reading the questions, it's going to be read to them. And the speech to text features actually enable our students with writing difficulties as well to really like express their answers. And aside from that, we are also like trying to support their accommodations through visual supports and modifications. So we are also using Google Forms. So we are not focusing on the paper-based test with our kids, but we are having our computer plus the assistance of a one-on-one support from an educational assistant. So text to speech, multiple choice answers, like drag and drop, so those are really like a lot, several accommodations that we can give, we can provide to our kids with disabilities when it comes to taking assessments.
Thank you for sharing that, Jojie. Yeah, I think it's important to think about like ways that AI can help us personalize those learning experiences for our students and think about all students that we're serving to and work with. So I think that very valuable to think about, and thank you for those insights. With that, well, next question here, and wanted to open it up to the other panelists too to think about this. So what are some ways that AI can help us personalize those learning experiences that we set up for our students in the classroom, specifically our Indigenous students? So what are some ways?
I'm more than happy to wait if Jojie or Michael would like to go first, but I do have something I'd like to express. I think one of the ways is that through student empowerment, because AI can be used to empower students to be not just consumers, but creators of technology. And when they see themselves in that lens of a creator, then they know that they can look down the road and become that person and work in those areas of technology. And we can foster critical thinking about societal impacts, and we can encourage students to be mindful of the ethical dimensions of AI and help them understand how it can be used to promote equity and inclusion.
And to add with Ms. Jeri Lyn, I do really like agree with that. I believe that AI is really like providing a flexible learning paths for our kids, which really like relate to their individualized learning plan, especially us working with special education and with gifted kids. However, it applies to all students in our community, and it really like cater the diverse needs of our Indigenous students. So in our school and with my personal experience, I usually give my students like their free choice. So like whatever topic that interests them, so they can really like so they're gonna be like connection to their personal experiences and their cultural identity. So I'm applying this when it comes to like storytelling. So we know that Indigenous students are not really like that familiar when it comes to like their Native American stories or their like, the legends of this and that. But with AI tools, it's really like enabling our students to explore the topics, like to really like resonate with their cultural backgrounds, such as their environmental science, such as their legendary stories, or and that way, or in that way, it really enhances engagement and foster deeper learning for me. So also providing the feedback. So immediate feedback from the teachers and immediate feedback from the AI platform that would really promote like self-directed learning to our kids.
Thank you, Jojie. Any other thoughts from the panelists on this question?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think just empowering students to know that they belong as well in CS and computer science, to know that they can use it as a tool and for their own personal reasons, their own their own culturally motivated reasons as well. Like there is this awesome project called the Barbershop Project where they would talk about things that were in their neighborhood related to coding, and even made a tie to weaving and braiding into coding. So just to understand like some of the things we do every day translate into code in a way. So to know that they have practice and they're capable, I think it can definitely be used as a tool to help out.
Thank you, Michael. All right, we have one more question here because we do have a lot of questions. I see people on the Whova app as well as the Zoom chat. So we'll do one more of our pre-selected questions and then we'll move into those questions because I know a lot of you are probably curious about those as well. Okay, so last question, we'll open up the panelists here for our pre-selected questions is how can educators balance innovation with AI while also knowing that they should approach this respectfully and responsibly given the cultural context of the community. So I wanted to open up this to the panelists.
As what Ms. Jeri Lyn mentioned at the beginning, that there should really be like the familiarity of the ethical standards of using AI. So I believe that when it comes to educators, we should really prioritize AI tools with transparent like algorithms and clear like data usage policies. And we should really be familiar of that before we can teach our kids the responsibility of using, or the appropriate responsibility of using AI. So for me, the school leaders should really like provide us training and professional development as well when it comes to AI usage, data privacy, and cultural sensitivity, especially me that I'm not really like a Native American teacher. So it really would help teachers in other ways to really understand and how to communicate this usage policies to our kids. And aside from that, like for me, selecting the platforms explicitly that would really communicate like handling our students with data privacy and security. And we do really need to really like let our kids understand the the consequences of using AI tools when it comes to taking statewide assessments. So that's a big thing right there. So I think us teachers, it would really like start because we are the frontliners of the AI tools in relating the knowledge to our kids. So I guess that would really help to balance everything.
And I would just like to add to Jojie, that was great, Jojie, just very insightful. Thank you for that. I want to just jump off of that. And I think that when teachers use AI in their classrooms, well, I mean, the kids are going to use it, even if the teachers aren't going to use it. But I think that having some training on culture sensitivity is really important to help monitor and guide the AI interactions that could unknowingly reflect cultural biases. Because in AI, of course, the AI is only as good as the program that went into it, right? And so we know we know already that there are biases in some of these AI programs, and we just have to help the kids understand how to look for that and how to deal with that. And so I think that if we make sure that we have this continuous system of feedback from students, from caretakers and community, it'll ensure that the AI that we're using remains aligned with our cultural values and our educational goals.
Yeah, and yeah, like you guys put it well. I also agree that it's important to get input from the community. You know, make sure that we're not violating any cultural traditions, like even taking photos with the learning machine. Obviously, there's some barriers there. But yeah, in general, also maybe having like you guys said, some kind of explanation or some kind of training that we could explain to the community members, the parents, the families, about what our goal is and what safeguards there are in with working with AI. Yes.
Thank you all for sharing that. Yeah, I'm glad you all mentioned like being able to like build up the community's awareness, literacy first, in helping them to like help you make those decisions in the classroom, or what ways that you're using it as well. It's very helpful. With that, we're going to move into the questions here, and there's one in the Whova chat that says, how have you been able to turn around an AI problem to become an AI opportunity in your classroom? And Jojie, I'd love to hear, or sorry, Jeri Lyn, I remember you sharing, and I think it might be based off of one of the pictures you shared too, with the challenge with the shoe. So I'd love to hear your feedback on that. And I'll post the question here into the Zoom chat. So this is one from Huva, from Melissa.
Are you talking about that specific lesson where we were using AI tools to create clothing and shoes? Is that the one you were talking about? That came from that was like a product, which was cool because that came from a rather large lesson. And give me just a second, because I have that lesson pulled up and I just want to highlight it a little bit. But we were learning about AI generated art with an undigitized lens. And we were learning about GANs and how do GANs work. And we were actually also talking about how to recognize art. Uh-oh, just a second. Let me close this. I have a brand new 6-month-old puppy that is, he's loud. We were talking about how to recognize art that had been created by AI, you know, versus original pieces of art. And then we took that and we talked about how there is a real danger in AI appropriating an artist's work, and then how it can be stolen from different cultures, and how does that impact the artist and the community. And then we talked about, you know, we just played with some tools and had fun with it. And the students created their own articles of clothing and shoes in this case, because, you know, kids are into their cool kicks, right? So they designed their kicks, and they were inclusive of their own culture, and it was beautiful. And then we put their kicks up above their computer stations instead of having names, and everybody knew who was sitting at which station just by looking at their kicks. So it's fun.
I know, I love that whenever you shared that with the community of practice before. So how about any of the other panelists, any any AI problems that have turned themselves into an opportunity in your classroom?
I have one, miss. So like in our gifted program with my middle school students, we are currently working in a future city project. So that is a competition wherein they're going to be creating their future city. And then one of my students brought this up, like, can we use an AI to answer the problem? So like I told them, like, before anything else, of course, because we really need to motivate our kids to really like share their wonderful ideas and to really like express their critical thinking skills in solving the project. However, after the brainstorming, after all the planning, we finally decided to kind of like put everything together. And then we use the we found this app, like, or a platform that is an open art. So an open art is an AI futuristic city generator wherein they can create the future city for us. So like if we're going to put all our ideas together in that software or in that platform or website, so it really give us choices or options like skyscrapers, like a floating city. So that is an AI opportunity to all of us, even to me as a teacher. Like I was like, oh, so this is amazing. Like all our ideas after all the brainstorming and pre-planning and everything, when we put everything together in that site, it really came up with a very detailed and informative, even with pictures too, like for visuals. But then the challenge there is that we are not going to submit that through that visual only, because we do really have to build the future city using recycled materials with a budget of $100 only. So to us, that is a big AI opportunity for us, like a big problem, but then turned into an opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I did see another question in the Zoom chat here from Patty. I did see, Jeri Lyn, you did answer that one in there, but just wanted to see if anybody else wanted to weigh in on that question. And it's about how much training have your teachers and students received on AI before they're asked to use it? So whether it's you as a teacher at your school, if you had any AI training, and then if like using the tools that you've all mentioned with your students, how much training do they have they received before they're asked to kind of create themselves? Michael, do you want to answer this one first?
Yeah, I don't have too much experience working with AI in the classroom directly right now. But my understanding is that we have this sheet that we kind of go over with the students and discuss some areas of safety concerns and kind of just go over the protocol. But yeah, I don't really, I'm probably not the best to answer this one.
I can summarize what I put in the chat. And Michael, boy, do I understand your response. It is all so new, isn't it? And I'm still there myself. I'm still learning, and every day it's changing. So I'm trying to be super flexible. But just in answering John's question first, we did put some AI considerations in our code of conduct and expectations for students, and we communicated those to our students and caretakers at the beginning of the school year. And we've also found out that if students are using AI for all work or all homework, or, that generally comes out, in assessment time. And then Patty's questions, our admin at our school went to some extensive training at the beginning of the year, and they shared with us, even if it was just briefly, AI is here. AI is here. It can be super useful. I can see amazing application in lesson planning, like coming up with specific lesson plans to develop certain schools. I watched a YouTube video on a caretaker or a educator who had AI design a tutorial for a student in algebra, and it was fantastic. I mean, you needed to make sure that you create the parameters for the tutorial, like don't give them the answer, but make sure they can understand the skills. So we decided as a school community that we're not going to spend our time policing AI, if that makes any sense. We're going to try to teach our students to use AI responsibly, but we're going to stay focused on our job, which is teaching our students how to be critical thinkers.
Thank you, Jeri. Then I think we have time for one last question. I have one from another question from Melissa, if nobody else has another one. Thank you for that, Patty. Okay, I'm going to post this here too in the Zoom chat, since I've seen some people posting in there. But this question is around UDL, or Universal Design for Learning. So have you been able to use AI to suggest lesson revisions or be able to revise your lessons using UDL to make it better?
I think that kind of goes back to the example that I gave on, the algebra lesson, but beyond the algebra lesson, if you give the AI tool that you're using, really specific parameters, it can be extremely useful and helpful for students and for educators.
Yeah, I believe it can help assist that process, just recognizing some of the things quicker. And I also think, especially with students with disabilities as well, it might provide that extra support.
All right, with that, we'll go to the next slide, just because I know we're running short on time here. We want to get into those raffles. So thank each one of you. I know you're busy, each one, educators, and for everybody here too participating that are educators. So really happy that you were able to share your expertise with us, Jojie, Jeri Lyn, and Michael, and your thinking right now into how you're thinking about AI and its use in education. I think it's helpful to reflect and just kind of see where educators are at as well. So yeah, thank you for spending your energy with us and time with us this Saturday. I wanted to invite everybody here, if you are interested in becoming part of our communities of practice. We are going to be launching the application in November for one that's going to be in collaboration with ISTE and their initiative around Generation AI. So our key goals for this community of practice is to integrate AI into teaching practices, help develop leadership skills for you to be able to take this PD back to your school and share those best practices. And then also to expand our network of committed educators. So if you're committed to learning more about this and jumping into this learning experience, we would love to have you join us. There will be an application, again, coming out November, early November. So be on the lookout for that in our newsletter and our social medias. We'll have a K-5 cohort and then a 6 through 12 cohort that'll meet on 2 Saturday sessions. And then we'll have a PD demo time. Also one-on-one check-ins at the school level. Cool. And then with that, I will pass it back to Francisco.
Thank you, Caitlin, and thank you to all the educators. Big round of applause for those insights. I really appreciate that. Really awesome hearing from you, seeing you as well. And as Caitlin said, thank you for taking time out of your weekend, your Saturday, to join us, and everyone else. I appreciate it. Definitely, if I encourage folks to join that, we'll be on the lookout for the application for community of practice that coming up. Up next, we're going to do a little bit of reflecting, about 15 minutes. And we're going to, again, use the Zoom randomize algorithm to put you into a different breakout rooms of a group of 2 or 3. Name and role if you haven't met folks. Also, an opportunity to share which sessions you attended today. What have you learned today? Or what are you still confused about? That's one of my favorite things to also ask. What are you still confused about? I think it's okay to throw it out. How can we continue to support you in this work is also another piece you can think about. Or and one actionable step you could take after what you learned today. If it's going for a walk, that is definitely one actionable step, and multiple steps probably. So we'll be jumping into that breakout. After that, we will be closing up with some final announcements and a raffle. All right, how are we doing, Amy? Amy is ready for the breakout rooms. All right, see you on a bit. I will share these questions then. Mhm. 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 Okay, I'm sharing to all breakout rooms.
Can I get sent to a room I accidentally declined?
Sure thing. And who was that?
Sanji Thompson.
You got it. Okay.
Hi, I got kicked out and I'm wondering if I can get thrown back in my in my room. I would think I was an 8.
Absolutely. I will send you.
Thank you.
Whoa.
I
Not
think I
seeing you
just did
under
that.
unassigned. Oh, you did it?
Yep.
Yeah. Frozen.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
Does anyone else in here need to be sent to a room? I think a couple people got stuck. Just yell at us if you do.
Leonie Malcolm just came back. We're gonna assign you to the room. Leonie, you ready? Oh.
Hi, Melissa. I saw you just popped back in. We have 4 more minutes. Do you want me to send you to a breakout room?
No, it's okay. I'm sick, so I
Okay.
try not to talk a lot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hello, hello. Where did that go? No. And folks are back. All right. Welcome back. Another session on reflecting. Just managing the windows over here. Okay, let's close up. And now it's closing and wrap up time. First, thank you to all the speakers, with a special shout out to AIEDU for funding the event, supporting us in operating this event. Look out for your professional development certificates via email. We'll be sending those out to you so you can get credit. Reminder, the community of practice application is launching soon. And so be on the lookout for November. The best way to do that is to connect via our newsletter. And we'd also love your feedback on the event. This is our first time as an organization using Whova. And so we're managing that, doing media production in the background and planning. And so we'd love to hear your feedback on how we can improve. We don't charge for the event. And I think the best way to ask for that support is with feedback. And let us know how we can improve and make it better. So be on the lookout for that survey coming next week. Also, when we send out that survey, we'll make sure to include some of the slides There's wonderful slides and content being shared, so we'll include that in as it goes out. Recording for the sessions will be available on the Whova app. I think that's the best way to track down a session and later on record. Amy, it looks like just posted a link to our newsletter sign up, and so you can use that there. And I believe I have another QR link at the end of this. So we are ready for our raffle. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, and I think Amy wanted to give you one last time. No, we're good. Okay, we're good.
One
So
last time. Well, no.
you are.
Anybody?
Oh, Amy's so
Anybody
kind.
who? Yeah. Anybody who didn't put your name in for the raffle. You have one last minute.
Last call.
So just say something in the chat so I can see your name. And do the teacher move of counting.
Tanya
my
did not
teeth.
enter the raffle. All right, we have Tanya,
Okay, we got you.
Leonie,
Rick.
Rick made it to the end. Gloria, hi Gloria. Let's put Gloria in the raffle. I know Gloria's lucky. You gotta look out for Gloria.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Frank is here. Frank also wants to be included.
Gotcha, Frank. Okay.
Ricky Baloo. Thanks,
I
Rebecca.
got Rick.
Feedback.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna refresh this.
Mhm.
Okay. Refresh it again.
I don't know.
Okay, let's try this out. So, I wish the drum roll.
Drum roll. This first one is for the book Braiding Sweetgrass.
This is for a Braiding Sweetgrass book. Congratulations, Yehan. Woo! You are the
All
winner
right.
of Braiding Sweetgrass book. What is up for next for the raffle, Amy?
Next one is an iPad.
Oh, okay. So an iPad.
Big ticket item.
All right, here we go. Drum roll, and I can just press the button again, right?
You can press it again, yeah.
So exciting. Jeri Lyn. Jeri Lyn is super excited. I love icons too. Congrats, Jeri Lyn.
She's gonna do something cool with her students with
Yeah.
that.
All right.
know.
What is up next for the raffle?
Okay, next is Beyond Coding, How Children Learn Human Values Through Programming. A
All
book.
right. This is an awesome book. This is I believe I have that book. And I think this is a book by Marina Burrs, who works on the Scratch Junior team. All right. So here we go. Congratulations, Frederick.
Woohoo! Aren't you glad you entered?
You went through. All right. What's up next?
All right. Next is the book Firekeeper's Daughter.
Firekeeper's Daughter. Awesome. And the winner is Eve Juarez. Congratulations, Eve. All right. It does help if you're on camera for the raffle. For some reason, I think there's some luck. All right. Here we go. Next one is Amy.
Next one is a set of AirPods.
Set of AirPods. Ooh.
Another big ticket item.
All right. Here we go. Good luck to everyone. And the winner is Angela Marquez. Yay, Angela. Big fan of your work and you. Congratulations. Bringing that luck. All right. What's the next, Amy?
This is so awesome. Okay, we have 3 more people.
Okay.
Next one is the book Lifelong Kindergarten.
Lifelong Kindergarten. All right. So this is by Mitch Resnick at MIT Media Lab. Lifelong Kindergarten Group. This is the founder of Scratch. Here we go. And the winner is Celine Verhofstadt. Congrats, Celine. It's a good book. All right. What's next, Amy?
Okay, next up is the last book, As Long as Grass Grows.
As Long as Grass Grows. Beautiful title. And the winner is Sanjeev Thompson. Congratulations. Sanjeev.
Okay,
All right. One more on the last. What do we have?
a lot of good winners here. Last one is a Sphero Bolt and a Samsung tablet.
Oh, that's 2. It's a combo pack.
Last one.
Good job, Julie, on grouping those together. All right. This is the Sphero and a Samsung tablet. Here we go. And the winner is Margenia Davis. Oh, I told you, if you're on camera and you're looking at that randomizer, it really helps. Congratulations, Margina, and congratulations to everyone else. Thank you for joining us during this last wrap up of the day. So I believe that is it. Thank you very much for joining us on this Saturday or Sunday if you're that far off on the world. So thank you. Please follow us on social media, indigitize_CS at facebook.com and indigitize or LinkedIn /company/indigitize. We'd love to connect with you and stay connected with you. Also, that newsletter link, I'll ask Julia to post it again on multiple platforms. You'll probably see it in the newsletter. But thank you again for joining us for the day. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye now.